How a robber with an IQ of 180 robbed a bank, but the bad guys didn't take the money. Instead, they made the hostages take off all their clothes, for sex. But they didn't hurt anyone. Then when the police stormed in, they found out there were no robbers in the bank. Even the weapons they found were toy guns. Not only was there no money missing from the vault, and no hostages were hurt, it seems like the robbery never happened. But in fact, the robbers made a whopping $5 billion. So how did they do it? The leader's name is Owen. He disguised himself as a worker and walked into the bank. Then he took out an infrared searchlight to destroy the surveillance. And then his team came in and unlocked the bank's doors. When the security guard realized something was wrong and was about to ask questions, a cold object was pressed against his waist. And then the show began. The robbers had everyone under control with ease. A passing patrolman noticed something wrong in the bank. He immediately called the police. Soon a large number of SWAT officers arrived and surrounded the bank. But Owen didn't panic, because it was all part of his plan. He had his teammates take the hostages' cell phones and keys. Then he had the hostages take off their clothes and change into uniforms. And the robbers put on the same clothes and masks. Then they put the hostages into different rooms at random. At that moment, the old man suddenly became unwell. Owen immediately sent him out for medical attention. This can show his humanitarianism to stabilize the hostages. At the same time, it's also a provocation to the police. It is reasonable to say that after all the preparations, it's time for them to get down to business. But Owen didn't get excited when he saw all the cash in the room and ignored the more valuable safe. He ended up in a utility room. He looked around and said, "This is perfect." Then he had his partner move the shelves and start smashing the floor. And what he really wanted, you'll never guess. The police sent Kyle, who has experience in negotiating, to run the operation. Kyle tried to contact Owen on the phone, but Owen wouldn't talk to him, and the security cameras have all been destroyed. Kyle didn't know anything about the bank, and when he didn't have a clue, Owen suddenly released another hostage. This one had a big box around his neck. The police were afraid that there were weapons inside, so they handled it very carefully. Inside the case was a letter from Owen. He asked the police to bring them 2 fueled buses and a fueled helicopter by 9 p.m. Otherwise, every hour after that, they'll send a man to God. Then the robbers delivered a long note with even more horrific demands. High IQ robbers rob a bank. They take nothing but make $5 billion. They make the hostages take off their clothes, then dress them in the same outfits and masks as the robbers. So even if the police storm in, they can't tell robbers from hostages. They also lock the hostages in separate rooms, randomly swapping a few people at intervals. Meanwhile, the robbers pretend to be hostages and blend in. By casually chatting, they make the hostages remember their features. So when questioned after leaving the bank, someone will confirm they were hostages. Then the robbers send out a long note, saying 50 people are hungry and need food. Kyle sees this as an opportunity. He immediately hides a bug in the pizza boxes. The plan works. Soon, they hear the robbers talking, but it's in a foreign language no one understands. The police have no choice but to seek outside help. It turns out the language is Albanian, but the recording isn't the robbers talking. It's a speech from a former Albanian president. Kevin and his team were tricked. Meanwhile, Owen claims he's robbing a bank, but he hasn't taken a single penny. Instead, he has his assistant open safe deposit box 392. Inside, there's not just a document, but a pile of diamonds in black bags in a red box. This is Owen's real target. At the same time, the bank chairman is getting anxious because the safe deposit box belongs to him. That document must be his secret that can't be exposed. So he rushes to find PR specialist Judy, asking her to negotiate with Owen to retrieve the document. Judy takes action immediately. She leverages her connections with the mayor. The mayor personally asks Chief Kyle to cooperate with Judy's investigation. Kyle has no choice but to follow orders. When Judy contacts Owen again, he actually answers the phone. Judy states she's neither with the bank nor the police, but she can offer Owen what he wants most. Her only request is a meeting. Surprisingly, Owen agrees. Then the two meet in the bank lobby. Judy directly states she is here for the document. As long as she can take the document, she will ensure Owen leaves the bank safely, and later, she will even give him $10 million. Do you think Owen will agree?